Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible in part by
Hi, my name is Jeremy Culver. I am the Vice President of Ray Corporation, located here in the MidAmerica Industrial Park. From the farm kid growing up on a farm in Gage, Oklahoma, never would imagine myself sitting here today. 12 years ago, when I first got out of school and was looking to enter the workforce, when I thought of industrial, I thought of probably like most people, that just a dirty workplace. You know, after being in the industry for, I guess, going on 15 years now, I've learned that it's anything but that. There's all kinds of opportunities. It's exciting. Talking to high school kids who are trying to decide what they want to do when they first got out of high school, I would encourage you to come out here in the industrial park. One, you're going to have an opportunity not only to make more money, but you're going to have the opportunity to have a career. It's been a great opportunity for me and my family. The MidAmerica Industrial Park is creating careers and changing lives.
also by
Electricity makes our everyday lives more convenient. We all know it costs more to fill your gas tank, buy prescriptions, and even go to the doctor. In the last decade, gasoline costs rose 11% every year. A dozen eggs increased in cost nearly 8%. Your electricity? It only rose on average less than 5% each year. Your local electric cooperative works hard to keep your electric service safe, affordable, and reliable. Discover the power of your co-op membership.
and by
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
as well as by
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
plus by
You two look happy? Is there anything else I can get for you? Okay.
Cherokee Casino and Hotel, West Siloam Springs. The feeling stays with you.
and by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake. Well, the party has begun with Welcome Back Weekend. We'll take a ride with the famous number 3, and let's go rock climbing like you've never done before. All of that on Living Grand on Grand Lake. Are you ready to party?
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake!
This is Living
Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of MidAmerica's Industrial Park, Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Royal Ailes, in for our show host, Christy Wallace. She's out on assignment and she'll be back in a couple of weeks. We're coming to you today from the beautiful South Winds Marina in Bernice, here on the beautiful shores of Grand Lake. Now, spring always comes to Oklahoma, and when it does, it gets everyone excited because they want to go out there on that water and have a good time. Our good friend Jerry Cookson recently wanted to welcome spring in with a bang by having a poker run. He and all of his buddies really enjoyed themselves, and they had dinner that night at the Cherokee Yacht Club, dining on the menu from the Titanic. Well, Jerry says when they get together, all of their buddies have a really good time.
I always wanted to live here. Started coming here in 1981 as a tourist and as a guest at the houses around the lake. And someday I said, I'm going to live here. It's just a lifestyle. I run Cedarport Marina in Disney, Oklahoma. and I sell Crown Line, Malibu, Harris, Regal yachts. I like to take out ski boat, usually like a Malibu. We like to surf a lot and play around like that. But you know, this time of year, I'd be in a pontoon boat. It's nice out. That's probably my boat of choice if I'm not out surfing. Welcome back weekend. You know, this is the 75th year of it, and people just like coming back to the lake and getting their lake houses opened up, getting their boats de-winterized, and of course, the festivities this weekend are incredible. Well, the way we do our poker runs, you know, you can do it by land or you can do it by water. What we do is we have stops, and we had 7 stops today, and you go to each location and pick up a poker chip, and then show up over here in hookers, and what we do is you get 5 cards, and if you hit all the stops, you get 6 cards. And then we see who has the best hand, and the yacht club's giving away $2,500 for first place. And second place is a dual membership to both of our clubs, and that's a pretty nice little prize. And then third place, Grand Lake Boat Sales, donating $500 for fuel. Well, the reason we named that Hookers, it's kind of cool. We got a game up there that you play, and it's got a little hook on it, and you swing it, and if it gets hooked up on the hook, you get a Frisbee that says Hookers on it. It's a pretty cool name for a club on the lake. Well, you know, no telling who you'll see out here at the lake. There's a myriad of people. There's a lot of us stay up here full time. You know, the governor has a house here. A lot of people in Tulsa, but we get people as far as from St. Louis, Kansas City, you know, down in Texas, Oklahoma City, big crowd comes over. This lake is unusual. We got 1,300 miles of shoreline. We got boats up to 100 feet. It's really an unusual lake. Well, the club's a private club. It has been for a long time. Everyone's welcome to come by and check it out and see what we have to offer. But the thing that's really neat about it is if you're a member of our club, we have all kinds of events. We have events every month, usually 2 a month, continuing through the whole year. Well, in June, I'm doing 2 events. Of course, I like to talk about my events. They're coming out of Cedarport Marina. I'm doing a surf event and a big air event. That's where we get our competition ski boats out, and we do some surfing behind the boats, as well as we do a big air event. What our big air event is when you hit the wake and see how high you can go, and you get to do 1 trick, and then they score that. Then the second event in June is what I call my pontoon rally and splash bash alley, and that is back in Ketchum Cove in front of Hammerhead Marina. And last year, man, I don't know how many boats were there, 300, 400, 500. It was crazy. We have a band on the big bobber. You know, I could go on about events all the time. You look at any of our Facebook pages, Arrowheads, Cherokees, Cedarport, and you can stay up with the events. We try to communicate that way as well as in Grand Lake Chronicle. It's a great place to see what's going on at the lake.
Now, if you missed the party, there's always another one to find here on Grand Lake. They are everywhere. It doesn't take much to find one. And that's what this show is all about. In fact, if you want to catch up on last season and stay in tune with this season, go to our YouTube channel and look up RSU TV. There you will find MidAmerica Industrial Parks living grand on Grand Lake. Now stay with us. We're going to take a ride with the famous number 3. And here's a little fun in the sun.
Hi everybody, I'm Janet J, and this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Colbert. I am the Vice President of Ray Corporation, located here in the Mid-American Industrial Park. From the farm kid growing up on a farm in Gage, Oklahoma, never would imagine myself sitting here today. 12 years ago when I first got out of school and was looking to enter the workforce, When I thought of industrial, I thought of probably like most people, that just a dirty workplace. You know, after being in the industry for, I guess, going on 15 years now, I've learned that it's anything but that. There's all kinds of opportunities. It's exciting. And talking to high school kids who are trying to decide what they want to do when they first got out of high school, I would encourage you to come out here in the industrial park. One, you're going to have an opportunity not only to make more money, but you're going to have the opportunity to have a career. It's been a great opportunity for me and my family. The MidAmerica Industrial Park is creating careers and changing lives.
Hello, our safety tip for today is to how to help somebody that could be drowning or having trouble swimming in the water. I want to give you a couple tips. Number one, if we can help that person without putting ourselves in the water, that is the best way to handle the situation. If we are to get in that water, it's a last resort, because fear, as you're trying to get to that person and they're grabbing you, can pull you underwater and put you in danger. I want to give you a few tips on how we can handle that situation without getting in the water. Number one is just a few things that we can keep in the boat. This is a simple throw bag that you can buy at marine stores. It is a rope in a bag, so we simply pull the rope out and we throw it to that person in the water, and then we pull them to safety. Another thing that we should have in our boat, one of the required things to have in a boat, is a throw cushion. Simple thing to throw to them, kind of get them out of the situation they're in. There's many things in our boat that we might already have that we can use to reach those persons that could be in trouble. This is a simple pole that we can keep in our boat that we can reach out and grab them. This also comes in handy for many other things like docking and many things that we can apply it to. We could possibly have a paddle in our boat that we could reach out, pull that person to safety. The main key to remember is to not put yourself in danger. You can't help them if you're drowning as well. So find a way to help those people to your boat without getting in that water, and have a safe day on the water.
Here's what's happening on and around Grand Lake. Saturday, May 16th, every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m., the park staff at Bernice Nature Center takes time to feed the park animals for the community. Visitors will learn how each animal likes to eat its food and what kind of food they eat. Then on May 17th, the annual Nichols Marine Tournament Series kicks off. Start is at 6 a.m. The launch, again, from Wolf Creek Park. Memorial Day weekend promises a lot of events. Every second and fourth Friday of the month, Pryor Cruise Night is held at 6 p.m. in Pryor, Oklahoma. This Grand Lake event takes place at Pete's Drive-In. For more information, call 918-530-2533. And the largest tournament for the weekend angler is coming up on Grand Lake. The American Bass Anglers host over 1,000 tournaments nationwide. Launch is at 6 a.m. at Wolf Creek Ramp. For more information, go to AmericanBassAnglers.com. Welcome back to MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake. We're still coming to you from the South Winds Marina here on the lovely shore of Grand Lake in Bernice. Now there is a race car that everyone is familiar with. It was driven by the legendary Dale Earnhardt, the famous number 3. And there's a local guy who owns it, and he loves parading it around. Now to the diehard, it is a sight that is very worth seeing.
He was the intimidator, and if drivers saw him coming up in the rearview mirror, they just didn't know how to act. They thought, well, I better get out of this guy's way or he's going to knock me out. I kind of took that philosophy in driving, and sure enough, it worked. Took a liking to Dale Earnhardt back then when I liked his way of driving, the way he carried himself. And Dale wanted to follow his dad's footsteps, and he did, and it was rough. He went through some rough times, but he made it. He did. The man came from dirt poor and made a name for himself.
He has told me, all about his racing.
From the time I was a kid, my dad used to take us to Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City. And when I was old enough, I started racing dirt cars. Started out in what you'd call a factory stock, into street stocks and pro stocks for a couple of years on a half-mile dirt.
And we'd go back and talk, and it was always, he was at this racetrack, and I would mention what happened there, and he'd go, well, I was there. And it's really weird, the way that thing happened, but he's very emotional about Dale Earnhardt. I am too.
It was a shock, it really was. He just, if you've seen the crash, which it's been replayed several times, it just shouldn't have happened. I don't know, with the now Hans devices that's come out of it, I'm sure it's saved a lot of lives. But when you lose somebody like that, and the funeral is televised like a president had died or something, it's big. I met a guy in North Carolina. We became good friends, and come to find out, he was a friend of Dale Earnhardt's. He grew up with him as a kid. Him and Dale, they worked hand in hand until Dale kind of started getting famous, and they always kept in touch. And I've stayed in touch with Lynn, and he's still a good friend of mine. And he had the car, restored it, and ran on us some bad times. We were talking one day, and he said, well, if you'd like to own it, I'll give you the first opportunity. I've had it ever since, and it's been a lot of fun.
He had told me that he owned a Dale Earnhardt Sr. car, and I'm like, yeah, right.
It's quite the conversation piece. My wife and I take it to car shows, do benefits. I like to do benefit stuff. It's got an 850 horsepower SB2 Chevrolet engine, 4-speed transmission. It's got the same drive line that would have ran in the Cup Series in 2000, which they've evolved up to, they were carbureted back then. Now they're fuel injected.
We love going to the shows. We've had so many people come up to the car and just sit down and just cry.
You just throw that garage door up and pull this car out in the driveway, and you wouldn't believe the traffic that just goes by, and they're just like, what in the world, This is kind of my retreat. I get out here and I reminisce about the good old days.
He's constantly 3 and 4 times a week, if not every day, coming out and wiping it down.
When I got rid of all my race cars, I just thought, gosh, I need a race car, something that I can have, but I don't have to go race it, and this was perfect.
Now, Gary always seems to win when he takes his car to the car show. Everyone wants to see it. In fact, his house is full of first place trophies. What a ride! Now, we're going to take you, when we come back from the break, a little rock climbing, but not like you've ever experienced before. But before we go, a little more fun in the sun.
I'm Zach with Zach's Guide Service, and this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Are you ready for the summer boating season? If so, the Grand River Dam Authority Police Department wants to remind you to boat safe, boat smart, and boat sober when you visit the lake. Remember to wear your life jacket, and make sure all the passengers in your boat wear one too. Use common sense on the water, know the lake rules, and watch out for other boaters. Finally, don't drink and boat. Most boating accidents are alcohol related. Don't become a statistic. All your friends at GRDA hope you have a safe and enjoyable time at the lake this summer.
You two look happy? there anything else I can get for you? Okay.
Cherokee Casino and Hotel, West Siloam Springs. The feeling stays with you.
There's a place down below the Grand Lake Dam where people gather every year. In fact, so many people have gathered, they call it the Big Meat Run. It's rock climbing. Man, it is extreme. You got to take a look.
What and who is a crawler? You know, I can't necessarily say that there is a specific stereotype for a crawler. You got to have some nerve, or cojones, or whatever you want to call it. Whether you be a boy or a girl, you got to be a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Start with a big pile of pipe, gears, tires, heavy duty parts, motors, and start making them into something.
You also have to have a very good mechanic or be married to one, which is what I am lucky to have. My guy turns wrenches on my Jeep all the time.
What I have been told is that it originally started as customer appreciation, and that he brought people here and it was his give back to his employees and his customers and stuff like that, and for them to have a good time. And over the years, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And John and Edie have done a wonderful job. They're very supportive of Disney by bringing it back every year, and we appreciate them wholeheartedly.
You know, I've heard the story from various different people. John told me one time on a phone call I had with him just a few months ago that he started coming down here 20 years ago, and he's from Claremore, and found this playground, as he calls it. And him and his buddies just played around here. And then they started the meat run 12 years ago, and it's just kind of grown year after year after year.
I've been wheeling out here for 20-something years. Okay. Come out on a weekend, found it, liked it, and still come back.
Well, you know, actually what you have down here is some people bring their four-wheelers, some people have razors. We actually have a lot of Jeeps in our group. The goal, of course, is to get over the obstacles, where they be rock or mud or the ridge, and working your way through trails. It's kind of requires some finesse. You have to know where to position your tire and how your vehicle's going to flex so that you keep it upright, but be able to crawl over the obstacle.
People have a different outlook on four-wheeling than they used to. It's a little more respected than it used to be.
The excitement and the anticipation is as much as anything. And the thing that is so crazy about this is people will break their toys. I mean, break them into pieces and have to winch them on the trailer, and they'll know they're going to spend thousands of dollars to fix it. And they're leaving with a smile on their face and bragging rights of what they broke and where they broke it.
Big Meat Run, these people are wonderful. They're such good people. They have really given us some hope to grow and become better and bigger. And more big events like this mean more revenue for the town, better streets, better highways, you know, more businesses. So that's a good thing. They're really helping us out.
You know, actually, in the off-road industry, I mean, you will see families out here wheeling with children in car seats, and all the way up to 80 and 90-year-old retirees that have built a crawler and come here. So it's actually all ages in the off-road industry. Well, in fact, here's what amazed me this weekend. I have campers from Louisiana all the way to Minnesota staying with us this weekend. That's the draw for this area. It's all over the nation. It's phenomenal.
Oh, it was just kind of a joke. We had an event and it grew from 12 people to what you see today.
You know, actually, I'm a very small part of Big Meat Run. And the reason I say that is because this dream was John Sumner's dream. John and Edie are the promoters of it. I am a big supporter of anyone that loves this industry as much as I do. And so I'm a small campground owner that just tells everybody, you've got to come, you can't miss it.
It makes me happy, but then too I realize it was just time, and people like to do what other people do, and fun is contagious.
The Big Meat Run has grown so much in popularity that even our famous governor has taken a ride on the wild side. Hey, don't forget, if you want to catch more of what's going on Living Grand on Grand Lake, all you got to do is go to our website at rsu.tv or go to our YouTube channel and look up RSU TV. There you'll find last season and this season's shows. Thanks for watching. You're watching MidAmerica Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible in part by
Hi, my name is Jeremy Colbert. I am the Vice President of Ray Corporation, located here in the MidAmerica Industrial Park. From the farm kid growing up on a farm in Gage, Oklahoma, never would imagine myself sitting here today. 12 years ago, when I first got out of school and was looking to enter the workforce, when I thought of industrial, I thought of probably like most people, that just a dirty workplace. You know, after being in the industry for, I guess, going on 15 years now, I've learned that it's anything but that. There's all kinds of opportunities. It's exciting. Talking to high school kids who are trying to decide what they want to do when they first got out of high school, I would encourage you to come out here in the industrial park. One, you're going to have an opportunity not only to make more money, but you're going to have the opportunity to have a career. It's been a great opportunity for me and my family. The MidAmerica Industrial Park is creating careers and changing lives.
Also by
After finishing high school, I immediately got married and started my family. Without a college degree, I found that pretty quickly my options were limited. When I started looking around for a college program for working adults, I quickly found that Rogers State was a great fit. They worked with me to get financial aid, offered classes that fit my busy schedule, and gave me personalized attention that I couldn't get at a larger school. Rogers State definitely started me on my professional career.
Plus by
the Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
And by viewers and members like you.